Yo, what up? This your boy Soulo. Now we back again with another one, and I'm gonna jump straight to the topic. And as we all know, America's a plantation. Whether you like to enjoy the life in it or not, but you know, most people like to get lost in their desires and what they think feels right. So we got people who get used to and accustomed to the way of life in this regulated system, corrupted system that everybody seems to like to ignore, and because they have this retarded ass mentality. Oh, nobody's gonna change, so there's no point of changing it. It has always been this way. No, it hasn't, retard. Because empires always fall for reasons, and when natives got colonized, that was a good empire falling. I'm just making an example. When the Europeans took over and colonized everything, that's a bad empire with bad morals taking over and doing things how they want to do it within their rules. And now we got this system, this modern system that we have today, full of structures, buildings, mathematics, all these things. Everything is based on logic and how to build. There is no, things are changing slowly, but it's not even close to enough. So, like I said from before, let's say the Native Americans. I'm gonna put this as a disclaimer. They were not savages. That's just lies that was said by the Europeans, obviously, because they have been raped, colonized, and all these things, killed. So of course they're gonna tell the lie of how and erase the past, the history of how it was, and just give humans a lie. They give you surface level truth when it comes to all these biases, religion, and science. There's truth in these things, but it's just not even close to enough, to the point where it keeps you not having true discernment. It's still always going to be vague for you in how the creation of everything became. But this is a spiritual thing, and the Europeans, the colonizers, and the descendants of today, they have no spiritual wisdom or enlightenment of how things is being created. So watch my previous videos if you want to understand how the Native Americans think and how they was very, very intelligent, more intelligent than any European of today, creating these twisted versions of science and religion. And this is how they brainwash a lot of people and confuse a lot of spirits in how things are right now. You get too comfortable with how they built the system and how you have to work for their jobs and get money and do things physically, but you're not understanding the spiritual aspect of how things are being created. They gave you religion, they gave you science. The Native Americans was beyond that. All of those things came from the native spirituality. How the spirit is creating masculine and feminine to create a new experience. That's how that's how the spiritual things are coming into play before they even become physical. So we have the masculine version of male. That's the masculine energy. They're all about the mentalities and how to produce. The females are all about the nurturing and the caring and giving birth to new experience. So that's the physical aspects of masculine, feminine, pushing out and taking in. So the spirit the spirit is truly nothing, becoming something. So it had to develop a masculine energy and a feminine energy to go into and experience that reality. This is what we're all doing with our masculine energy and our feminine energy. The way we think and the way we feel, and how we guide ourselves through this reality that has already been made with the same components, with the spirit that started it all. And now we're all spirits experiencing each other, through evolution and stuff like that. Just watch my other videos, because I've been saying this shit for a long time, since last year I think, or more. But my point is, the people who's running the world, whoever they are, even if they might not be all Europeans, but they all have that European mindset. They're just confused and degenerate and retarded. They have no real truth, and they run on belief. So if you have all these retards running the whole world with no common sense, you can see clearly what they're spending the tax money payers on. The nonsense, the promotions, everything you see on TV, all that retarded shit that people don't need. And they get lost in these desires. Like I said, you get lost in things that make you feel good, but not understanding that this is what the spirit is doing. It's utilizing the mind and the emotions to create an experience, not to get lost in the experience. So this is why meditation is good, so you can have discernment and know who you truly are. You're the creator. You're creating shit. You're creating your own reality. You're creating your own evolution, your own experience with other individuals who are doing the same thing with their masculine and feminine energies. That's the spirit becoming something, becoming physical. So it's all about evolution and picking the right mentalities and emotions to create our experience. So the way how things are, the world is created by experiences from the Europeans with a retarded ass, fucked up masculine energy and feminine energy, the way they think and they feel. And that's how they're, came up with colonizing people, destroying villages, destroying the way of life, destroying the truth. And now we got hundreds, thousands years down the line, now we got billions of people with a colonized mindset, because they're all confused. Not everybody, but most people. A lot of people have common sense that the system is corrupted, but they're putting no effort. Like, all you have to do is speak up and stop buying their bullshit. We got these retarded ass government trying to control the food, putting pesticides and trying to make things worse, create sickness. You might say the people out there who don't care, they just want to live a good life, not a long life. Well, that's a retarded ass mindset and a retarded ass feeling, because that's the experience that you're creating, not just yourself, but the people who can easily get lost in these desires just because it tastes good and it feels good. It doesn't mean it's good. The colonizers did what they thought it felt good, and look at now. Everything is just, is not how it should be. Everything should be in alignment. Everything should be fair and balanced. But I just guess you just gotta take a couple more, hopefully not, but I ain't gonna say a couple hundred more years or thousand, but people just gotta wake up and know what the right thing to do is, to have discernment about your reality and who you are. You need to find out more about yourself and get into spirituality, because reincarnation is a thing. You don't want to reincarnate back here and work again, go to school again, and do it all over again just to have the same mindset you have right now, the same belief. Oh, reincarnation's not real. You're just a buffoon. You're making shit up. Shit. I probably said that in my past lives when I was dumb too. But I got the spirit in me. That's why I'm telling you this right now. So you need to understand that there's people in this world who have very, very deep spiritual wisdom and is very enlightened with nature. They're in tune with nature. They're not lost in the physical. They're more lighter in the spirit. So we have to make some changes within ourselves so we can change the world and become, better morally. So we got people in the government trying to push toxicity in the food, and we have to become aware of that. We have to become aware of everything that they're doing. Don't get lost in politics, but understand that politics is two wings, Democrat and Republican, working together. They make it seem like they're against each other, but they're not. They're together, and that's how they confuse you. Because nothing is being changed dramatically in a short span. They're all wasting time and and resources on bullshit. And look at how much money they spend every year on military, and now they complain when people don't pay their fare in the MTA system, and yet they're doing all this corrupted shit. Like, make it make sense. You're all retarded and stupid. The people out there who's lost in vices and all this shit, you're fucking stupid, and you're garbage in the mind. Your shit is full of maggots. You can suck a dick. But respectfully, it should be common sense that I'm trying to spread the truth so people can have a fair life. Not just you getting lost in your fucking ego and shit, you fucking sheep. But, it is what it is. You gotta be better. But yeah, peace.